April 1998. Ian Durrant takes the plaudits from thousands of Rangers fans before his testimonial match at Ibrox. It was a fitting reward for a special player who not only had immense natural ability and vision, but also a single-minded determination to carry on, even when all seemed lost. It was all a far cry from the day in 1983 when the skinny kid from Kinning Park was signed by John Greig after serving an apprenticeship on a schoolboy farm.
So we put the pitches near a Pollock, and it was totally new to me because it was grass pitches, and I was used to the red ash net, and there was a Ranger scout, Archie Laurie, and he came in. I was about 13, I was asked to join Rangers as an S-form, so he must have seen something in me then at a younger age.
At today's prices, Ian's signing fee would have been impressive, but in 1983, things were very different.
I never got one. I got a £5 a week expenses, but I used to kid on, I used to get a lift along, but I think John knew I used to walk along to training, so I used to get £5 a week, so that's the cheapest sign ever. John got me for a £5.
But Ian, being a streetwise Glasgow kid, knew that he could get one over on his new gaffer, eventually.
There was a tournament, we used to go to a tournament in France. We had our digs, but next to the digs was a fair, so we went down there and obviously spent our francs. So we come up the road and there was John and Willie Thornton. We had a bit chit-chat. Being the bold Glasgow boy, I told him I was skint. So he gave us a few francs and we went for a fish supper, so the boys were happy getting up the road.
However, soon after Ian signed, John Greig was replaced by a man who had built his reputation as a hard taskmaster in the jungles of Burma, Jock Wallace.
Hard, very fair. Now, he wanted his players super fit. He wanted them to play in a certain way, and he got them playing a certain way. Now, he used to do physical things now, going to Gillane and up and down the sand dunes and doing weight circuits. From an early age, he's seen I was on the small side, so I'm on a regime of going in early in the morning, getting porridge and milk, and on weight circuits now to build myself up. So I went from now one extreme to another now, try to learn how to play in the pitches and how to play football now, and a big jock comes in and changes the format. Now I have to get myself built up, and it's worked out well for me now.
The process of turning the raw youngster into a first-team player had begun, but another John Greig signing was already making his mark at Ibrox.
Ali McCoist, right out the blue, right through the Celtic defence, 27 seconds.
Ali and Ian were to become very close, both on and off the park. But in those days, Ian was Ali's boot boy.
Remember that horrendous hair bear bunch haircut he had? Honest to God. There were like 2 beehives on top of his head at one time. And I thought, what is this? Just walked in the dressing room, built like that. I have to say, he was probably a better boot boy than he was a player, because he used to get a hell of a shine on those boys, I'll tell you.
Eventually, the call-up to the first team came. And on his debut against Morton in April 1985, he turned the tables on the man whose boots he used to clean.
On a Friday, Big Jock used to have a reserves against the first team. And there I was at inside left for the first team on the Friday on the practice match. Then after training, he gave me 2 comps and said, get up your parents, you're playing tomorrow. It was end of season stuff, and Jock was rebuilding for next year. There was myself and Derek, who were on the fringes, and he played against Morton. It was brilliant. Coy scored a hat-trick and I got man of the match. It was brilliant. So I got man out of an early age.
One Rangers player of the time who would be influential many years later still recalls the young Ian Durrant.
He was always very confident. Him and Derek Ferguson were partners in crime at that time, and they ruled the roost in the reserve team and youth team kind of dressing room. And I never ventured into that area very often because I knew those two would be hanging around. But no, he started to break through into the team just after I had broke my leg, and we never really played many first team games together, but it was a revelation. As soon as you came into the team, everybody knew that was a level he should have been playing at, and maybe even beyond that.
Ian's goal-scoring career got off to a dream start. The date, November 1985. The venue, Ibrox. The opposition, Celtic. The only problem was that the game wasn't televised, so no TV pictures exist of the match where Ali McCoist and Davy Cooper helped to secure a 3-0 victory.
I went to hit it and missed hit it, and I've hit the top end, it's just rolled over the line and not even hit the back of the net. Since that day, I had a good record against Celtic.
But all was not well at Ibrox, and after a poor season when only the Glasgow Cup was placed in the trophy cabinet, Jock Wallace was replaced by Graham Souness. The new regime would revolutionise Scottish football.
at an early age, I'm now my third manager, and you're thinking, well, I mean, lucky enough with the first two like me, maybe the third one not like me. Basically, I said that there'll be major players coming in, and a lot will be leaving. So you didn't know what category you were in, so you had to buckle down.
I see what I was at with that guy, you know what I mean? Soonish took to him, Big Jock took to him, Greggy loved him, and they all hated me. You know what I say? They just loved me, Durrant, and they all used to punch my lights out. I maybe just get one of his faces. No, but he's a likeable guy. You couldn't fail to like Wee Durrant. You know, he gave you everything he had on the park, and he was a genuine guy on and off it.
Ian's ability couldn't be ignored by his new manager, and he proved his worth when Rangers met Celtic at Ibrox. Ian was determined to secure his future with the club he had always supported.
Cooper. Here's Durrant with a chance, and he's done it! A brilliant goal by Durrant.
Chris was played a ball, and David Cooper's played probably one of the greatest balls ever in Scottish football. Now, a blind pass, it instantly knows I'll be there, so I ran on and played it, and I've given the biggest blank ever, honestly. He's put his hands out and I've just blanked him, just due to the fact now I scored against Celtic again. And most of my family were in the enclosure and that, and I just made a beeline for the enclosure, but it was frightening. I look back years and sort of scorn a wee bit, and when I see now how good a pass it was, and there we go, and I just blanked him, blanked to legend. After the game, because he gave me pelters, and then he gives you a hug and that, and goes, a great finish, and I'm sitting there going, don't get your own about it, and then it's not until you see it on the TV, you go, Jesus Christ, what have I done? It's as if I've just body swerved him, and I'm standing over at the touchline myself, and everybody's grabbing Coop. I'm like, what have I done?
The 20-year-old was now an established favourite at Rangers. He was given a 4-year contract. His pace was electric, and with the skills of Cooper and the power of Souness, Rangers were becoming invincible.
Cooper hoists it in, straight back out. Referee looking at his watch, Cooper inside the box. Left foot shot coming up. Great save. Durrant out in front. Driven in and it's there. Fleck again on half-time, 2-0. Cooper coming back, Monroe going forward. Cooper cuts inside. Finn's falling back. Still has it. An amazing run by Cooper. Could be a fantastic goal, it is. Oh, Davy Cooper, brilliant. Fleck, hat-trick, what a goal. Now McMinn. Into Fraser. A lovely flick and a great chance. Goal. McCoist. Durrant flicked it on. McCoist was there. Look at that lovely flick by Durrant. And McCoist's finishing was clinical. 4-0 to Rangers.
Ian has played alongside many real characters, but at that time the erratic Ted McMinn was one of the least predictable. It was said that sometimes even he didn't know what he would do with the ball.
Bonkers, swearing it. He used to come in and I think it's changed now, but at Rangers then he had to wear a shirt and tie. And honestly, he used to go home and now if he had a light blue shirt on, he'd be soaking, he'd just come out the shower and just put his gear on. He couldn't wait, he's just millions of energy and good lad, but funny boy. Oh, but some characters. Oh, he's one of the craziest.
It's something different, that's about it. Davey does all the nice wee neat skills, and then when it comes to me, well, just run with the ball and just, when it ends up. Sometimes in the Colton Road, sometimes it's in the net.
But the serious business of winning silverware was now at hand. Graham Souness still had to win a major trophy. He had the perfect stage when Rangers met Celtic in the League Cup final.
We had a couple of fitness doubts before it. People didn't know if Ted was going to be fit or Cammy Fraser was going to be fit or if I was going to be playing up front. But Ted and Cammy came through it, and when Ted was playing and running a riot as usual, David Cooper was buzzing.
Durrant, Cooper. Oh, nice play there by Ferguson. It was now Cooper. Oh yes, a booking for that. Cooper brought down, free kick. And Durrant can be a useful player for Rangers, Jim.
Well, he was so useful in the last game. He scored the winner, and he actually had an exceptional game. He's obviously a young player who has had a tremendous season so far.
And Candy Fraser is there. Butcher's there. Durant is there and scores. Durant has scored for Rangers. 1-0. Well, the very boy we were just talking about there takes his chance. Only a half chance. And the near side of the goalkeeper. Rangers are in the lead. Goes for a penalty kick there. It's a given. It's a penalty to Rangers. A vital moment in this game. I make it 5.5 minutes remaining of the Skol Cup final. Penalty to Rangers. 2-1. And there goes the final whistle. Rangers have won the Skol League Cup final.
Ian Durant, Graham Souness and the whole Rangers team had proved that after an unconvincing start to the season, they were capable of taking on and beating their oldest rivals.
The first Englishman to hold that League Cup trophy aloft.
Ian was an essential part of that success. Unbelievably, it had been 9 long years since Rangers had last won the championship. In season 86-87, with the help of the team's young stars, that would all change.
That's it in. It's there. Flag has scored for Rangers. Beautifully touched on. Beautiful move by Rangers again. Really are playing some superb football. Engineered mainly by the man spraying out that pass at the moment, Souness. Now Cooper. It's there. Number 2, Ali McCoist.
The game that could win the championship got off to a bad start. Graham Souness was sent off. And down to only 10 men, Rangers had to dig deep.
There's Cooper. There's Butcher. He scored. Butcher has scored for Rangers.
Ian had won his first championship medal. And when the jubilant Rangers supporters poured onto the pitch at the final whistle, he was left in only his underwear. The fans had taken the strip for souvenirs. But Graham Souness was still angry. Earlier in the season, Ian and Ali McCoist had been arrested after an incident in East Kilbride.
But the best it was, he fined us, we won the league in fact at Aberdeen, and he fined us that day and coming home in the bus. Me and Coyce were sitting out the back raging.
She says to Durant, he says, right, you're fined. He says, you keep out of trouble over the summer. He says, you can get your money back. Durant says, okay, boss. You know, he's like, he says, okay, boss. He says to me, he says, right, you, he says, you're fined. I says, aye. He says, if you get married, he says, you can get your money back. And I stick your money, I says.
The police had been called during the incident, but even when in custody, the double act's humour shone through.
Oh no, still I'm laughing, but it's not funny. And then we ended up in the police station. The policeman comes in, and me, Durant and I, we're playing Push a Penny. And the big policeman came in, dead serious. And he says, right, you two. Looked at me and he says, have you got a police record? I says, aye, walking on the moon. Right, and I'm looking at the big policeman. Never cracked a light. I'm going, oh no, I wish I hadn't said that, you know. He said, is that right? Both threw me in the cell, you know, and I'm sitting there. I was only joking, you know. But he was fine, I was only joking. But great. Even that was a great memory, but, you know, stupid, the two of us were stupid, and we recognise that.
Graham Souness instilled an iron will at Ibrox. Every player knew what was expected of him. And although Ian was sometimes called Wee Durante, his determination and his will to win was enormous. One of the most remarkable Old Firm matches of all time took place that season. In an incident-filled encounter, Celtic's Frank McAvenny, Rangers keeper Chris Woods and captain Terry Butcher were sent off. With that one-man disadvantage, Ian displayed the never-say-die determination that epitomises all the great Rangers players.
Stark nodding it sideways. McStay helps it on to Grant. Oh, that's a good ball from Stark. Here's Walker. That's for Peter Grant. That's the second. Again from Ferguson. There's Gough. Still Richard Gough. Now McCoy to the great chance for Rangers. He's made it. Rangers are right back in the match.
And I can remember all the boys in the enclosure giving Peter Grant pelters. And wee Granty runs by them, back out the park going, you know, 2-1, 2-1. And next minute, I don't need to tell you, wee Durrant goes down the line. And how he gets it, I couldn't believe he was out there in the first place. And he keeps going, and he keeps going. And he swings this ball over.
But it's Durrant again, the last chance perhaps for Rangers. The chance is on for Gough. Richard Gough makes it 2 apiece. And the final minute of the match. What incredible drama here at Ibrox.
I can still see me Granty sinking to his knees. Sorry, Peter. He's sinking to his knees going like that because he's just been up giving it 2-1. And then the noise for the Rangers end that hit us up, it was absolutely incredible. And the game finished 2 each. It was tremendous. But wee Durrant's tenacity to get down that wing to get the ball across was phenomenal.
That was unbelievable, that row. That was as if you're 10 feet behind Concord when that row went up. And just last minute, I was down the right with Anton Rogan and just swung across and Big Golfy stuck a leg out. That was his debut, Big Golfy's debut. And we drew 2 each. Before my injury, I was still slight. I was just under 10 stone. So I wasn't really carrying much. Just a whippet. I had bundles of energy and I could run about for fun. And I maybe gave the impression I was tired, but I know I could still run about. For the first minute to the 90th minute.
Ian's genius as a provider was evident, but his skills made him a threat to any defence.
Good shot to Ferguson. Very deft touch that to the side for Francis. There's Grambowski again. Durrant steps in. Chance for Rangers. Durrant makes it 2. 22 minutes on the clock. And Ibrox erupts once again. Oh, what a joyful opening quarter for Rangers. 2 up midway through the first half. Ian Durrant getting yet another vital goal. The high ball played in was won by Grambowski. Now look how quick Durrant was here, stepping in front of the defender. And then the accuracy of the shot beat Vancic comprehensively at the far post.
Before his injury, he's the most naturally gifted attacking midfielder I've seen. His timing of his runs into the box. And we talk about players, you know, and people used to say they used to ghost by players and ghost into the box. But that's what he did. He was impossible to pick up.
It's been a very convincing performance so far from Rangers. Capped with these 2 goals. Splendid opportunist efforts, each of them, and that's a delightful pass from Souness. There's Durrant. Great chance again for Rangers. Blocked on the line. McCoy couldn't reach it. Grambowski did well for Gornick. Souness with that magnificent pass into space for Durrant. His timing and the change of pace was brilliant. Chipping it beyond the keeper. McCoy trying to get there. Grambowski did well to block it. Now Ferguson. Souness. Good running again by Durrant. A chance for the 3rd. Here's Durrant. Played in by Falco. Played back there into the path of Ferguson. There was Souness. He spotted the run from Durrant. Brilliant play from Durrant. Stepping out of the defender, recovering quickly enough to find Falco. A nod of the head. And Rangers lead by 3 goals to 0.
In an incredible 8-day spell, Rangers had drawn with Celtic, beaten Gornick in the European Cup, and now faced Aberdeen in the Skull Cup final. Ian's scoring run, which had taken them to Hampden, was not about to desert him.
Domenico's header, there's Fleck. Durrant's header to McCoy. There's Durrant, a great chance for Rangers, and that was magnificent.
was just one of those games where everything clicked that day. I know it's been said, but I think that probably was my greatest ever game. Just from start to finish, I just felt, well, that's my day. And every pass, everything I done just come off, and I think it was one of the great cup finals all time.
Belt's header, there's no one up for Aberdeen, they're all back defending as Nicol returns it. Roberts with the header, there's Ian Durrant, and Fleck! There's Robert Fleck! He tied it up again at 3 apiece.
Even extra time could not separate the teams, and the final was decided by a penalty shootout.
I was confident we were going to win it, but you never know in a penalty shootout. But when I seen Trevor taking his 2-step run up, I goes, oh Jesus, this is going to be our day.
A very short run up from Francis, but thoroughly effective, and Leighton is frustrated. He guessed right that time. If Durrant scores, Rangers are the winners. There will be no need for any other kick. Perfectly taken by Durrant. Rangers have won the Skol League Cup after a match packed full of drama.
It was a great film. It was a good night after that one.
The passion generated at Rangers was always extremely strong, with every player desperate to pull on the blue jersey. But with only 11 places available, competition was fierce.
Every week there was a scrap at Rangers, only because now you've got 18 players and there's only 11 jerseys, but that was just a winning mentality as soon as it set in there. And it used to carry on a Friday in the train, used to Scotland, England. See the scraps, that was on a Friday before a game. Frightening. Mad, one with Souness and one with Graham Roberts, man. Imagine taking you two on.
And Graham used to play for England, right? That used to annoy us, right? That used to annoy us right away. But honestly, you've got to believe me, they couldn't have beat us. And I remember one, it was brilliant, we're about 5-0 up. And Graham's lost the place because we're just taking the mickey and we're all back flicks, the Coop and all that, and Coop's playing keep it up for half an hour. And we ran to get the ball. and Graham came in and smacked him. This is a Friday before a game. And we ran, he's still on the ball. You know what he's like at those days, he couldn't get him off the ball. And so Graham comes in, I say, Graham wallops him again, and we ran, he goes, boom, boom. I'm not one, remember the wee balls that wobble but don't fall down? Well, that was a wee man. Down he went, back up again, put his foot in the ball, he put his foot in the ball, and looked at Graham and went, is that your best? and Graham went, no, this is, and was chasing them all about the park. It was brilliant, and Big Butch was kicking balls away. Game abandoned, and then we're at the Saturday and everybody's pals again.
Graham Souness made a controversial decision that year when he sold striker Robert Fleck before a crucial European tie with Steaua Bucharest.
That was just because I sold Graham to get a game, because he sold Robert Fleck to Norwich, and I think their other forward was injured, so I get put up front. And I was up front. I think that was my best ever that year. I scored over 20 goals. And I think Souness got his best run in the team when I went out. And just the fact that he's playing the middle of the park and I was stuck up front doing all his running.
Now Durrant, shooting chance for Durrant. Yes!
You found yourself going back in the midfield just because the position you're playing in and helping out. But you used to crack up because they say, I want you to play up front now. And fortunately enough, now myself and Coyce scored a few goals.
But despite that success, Celtic won the championship in 1988, which made the first Old Firm clash of the following season a match which Rangers were determined to win.
Celtic's just laid out a line now that they're coming here full of beans and that. And they've won the league, they won the double, and even then earlier on, it was the first game of the season, I think. We were playing catch up again, and now we had to win it. It's either go 5 points behind or go one behind, and we win. And everybody was buzzing.
Penalty offered by Barnes. Here's Mark Walters. In goes Ferguson, met right away by McCarthy. It's back now with Durrant. And a very tough late tackle by McCarthy. Now that wasn't called for. Ian Durrant, to his credit, making light of it. Ray Wilkins will take the free kick. Gough is in the box once again. So is Butcher. Back to Brown. Blocked by McCarthy. There's McCoist. Deadly finishing by Ali McCoist. Gough and Butcher have gone up. It's launched in field by Stevens. There's Butcher. Back with Wilkins. Absolutely magnificent from Ray Wilkins. It's headed on by Rogan. Here's Durrant retrieving it for Rangers. McCoist nods it on, an awkward one for Andrews. And the ball is in the net. It's a goal for Rangers. Walker's now facing McCarthy. Getting in a fine cross. Kevin Finkel. White judging the flight well. There's Brown. Taken in trouble as Ellie McCoist. Down he goes this time at Walters. Mark Walters makes it 5. Ian Durrant will come off.
There's still 20 minutes to go, and so it took me off. But I had to knock, but everything was fine. He came on and started to show going there, the boys are coming after the game. I just stumped him 5-1, and it could have been 7 or 8.
Butcher. And the Motherwell defender stood stock still as Ian Durrant put Rangers 2 up.
Ian's success was now assured. His ability was being recognised not only in Scotland, but further afield. There was even speculation that his future lay abroad with one of the European giants.
So responsibility with Ian Durrant. It's in off the post.
But then on the 8th of October 1988, his world collapsed. One tackle in a match at Pittodrie caused so much damage that Ian Durrant would not play a first-team game for Rangers for the next 2.5 years.
8 minutes past 3, I'm on my way to hospital. It's just one of these things that happen. The time it happened, I was very bitter. Due to the fact I didn't really... I had the world at my feet. I didn't really know the circumstances of my injury. I didn't really know the severity of it. And 2 years later, I found out the severity, and now it took us 2 years to get back. But I'm not going to say anything about Neil. These things happen. As you get older, you sort of go, well, any line of work you can get injured, and I was just unfortunate there.
I can still see him as if it was yesterday, sitting on that treatment table in the away team restaurant at Pittodrie, with ice in his knee. And he was in shock, he was definitely in shock, because the pain hadn't really set in then. I remember getting in, I thought, it's serious, absolutely, it's really serious.
As an optimistic young player, Ian thought that he could come back long before the experts predicted. But eventually, the extent of his injury became apparent.
They've given me a certain time, I'll do it. I'll not be out for that time. And then I had one breakdown after another, 3 breakdowns. And that was nearly the end of it now.
Those breakdowns were so demoralising that Ian often thought of leaving football altogether.
Any time, every 3 months. When your body, you go so far with your body, and I was down at Lilleshall for a record 18 months with Grant Downey, and I was down there and just waking up every day, just your body's sore, and you're going, well, do I need this? Now I'll go and look for some line of work where I can just, without waking up in pain every day. Then you get a good week, you go, this is going great, I'm flying now, I'm not be long now. Then you hit the depths of despair.
I mean, people wouldn't realise what it takes, and it's unbelievable, because he's going into that dressing room, and everybody's having a laugh and great, and everybody's going into the dressing room, and he's not. He's going into the gymnasium himself.
Due to the fact that I had so many operations, when he was getting my knee functioning again, I had a ligaments in from it now, like a dead man's body, and it's just getting my body to react to them again, and your knee moving which way and get your knee balanced, and just doing, most of it was soul destroying, just doing exercise, but people maybe laugh at you, but simple exercise were getting my body to tell me, get my brain to tell me now my knee how to work again, now these new tendons in, and it just now like wee stretches and just wee simple things. But I was doing it for now 3 hours a day, and then a break at lunch, then another 3 hours of just now like stretching and balancing work in front of a mirror. Had that wee Grant Downey now, the phys at Ibrox now. So man, if I had shot him any time. He's been there and seen it done it with so many players, and he put you through the pain barrier. But every day was a challenge. Now your body was killing you. You're in the swimming pool, out on a bike, running up mud hills just to get your muscles going again. No, it's just many a time you just go like, oh, stuff this, I'm out of here.
But the mental strength that he showed to come back, I can't praise him highly enough. And the mental strength that he showed in the latter stage of his career. Still getting into the gym every morning before training. I mean, we're getting into the gym, we're getting into training at 9:30, 9:45. He's getting at 9 o'clock doing half an hour in the gym and his quads for his knee. I mean, nobody realises that doesn't watch him, you know what I mean? His capacity to train and work and his desire to do the best that he could was remarkable.
The hard thing was coming up and watching the games every week. And at that time you're still getting your name chanted and all that, and you're watching games with a big lump in your throat. And it's those days that get you through it. And at the end up you go, well, I'll prove them, I'll show them what I can do and get back.
That determination brought Ian his reward in February 1991, when over 15,000 fans watched a reserve game. Even Ian hadn't realised just how much he meant to the Rangers supporters.
All of a sudden I've got the Rangers end open, then part of the Celtic ends open, then they've had to open all the gates up, they couldn't cope with it. And yet the game's going on, there's people now round the touchline, they're all walking round the touchline. Oh, geez. If I'm not under enough pressure next minute, fortunate enough we won that day and everything went well for them. Unbelievable. That'll live me as long as I live.
Ian's first team return came 2 months later. Only the skill of Andy Gorham stopped him from scoring. And although he may no longer have had the lightning pace of former years, he had adapted his style of play in a way that few players could emulate.
He's a phenomenal player before his injury, but by the same token, he's a phenomenal player after his injury. He couldn't do what he used to do. So he took stock of the whole situation and turned into a phenomenal passer of the ball.
But sometimes the memory of his horrendous injury would come back to haunt him.
I took a few slaps in the reserve games and it was fine, but there is that thing in the back of your mind, will it stand up? Your bottle starts coming back again, now you start getting about, and then now you're ready for anything.
Ian proved that in the very next game. There had been many changes at Ibrox during Ian's absence from the first team. The most remarkable was Graham Souness's sudden return to his old club, Liverpool. But in those years he had made significant signings. Peter Hoostra, Mark Hateley and Trevor Stephen were brought on board. But the most controversial recruit was the ex-Celtic star Maurice Johnston, who joined the players at their Italian training camp.
We were on Il Ciocco, as you see, there's a bulletproof helicopter coming. There's me, Mo. Oh, it's frightening. Oh, you know what it was like? It was just a Glasgow partner. Get him away, I'm not shelling around with him. That was Coisty. The best was the wee kit man, Jimmy Bell. He used to give you 2 wee bars of chocolate and a wee can of juice. So there's Coisty, so he walks into the room, he goes, all right, Coisty. Throws Coisty a couple of bars and a wee juice and walks out, wee Mo. What's that? You'll not earn the chocolate, wee man. He turned out a great player for Rangers, but the early banter was brilliant, and he participated in it, he loved it.
Mo Johnston had even been the subject of death threats, but as usual, Ian and the Rangers players kept their sense of humour.
Mo was getting bomb threats and all that, so he didn't want you near Mo at that time. He's the one to have a day in the lunch time. We'll give a couple of months more.
Walter Smith had taken over as manager, and the last game of that season was to be the championship decider. For Ian, it was especially significant. The opposition was Aberdeen, and it was winner take all.
I've been drummed into this for 5 years, up until in Desire. And it does, you do think you're invincible at times. And then you see the crowd are at fever pitch and you're coming out and you can tell going down the tunnel, you know you're going to be in. And we knew that day going down the tunnel, it was going to be our day.
There's Durant, Hateley, Ferguson. Of course it goes to Stevens. Always wants to check onto his right foot though, Gary Stevens. Interception made by Wright. Here's Ferguson. Hustled all the way by Grant. Kimmy's clearance. Walters wants to bring the ball down and take on Wright. Going for the early cross. There's Hateley. It's a magnificent goal for Rangers.
He really never ever changed as a person from me joining the club, going through his two years of hell, and coming back to playing. You know, he was a very funny bloke, always great to have around the dressing room, keeping everybody in check, and, you know, keeping everybody on their toes, saying when he was going to be fit, you know, who was going to be out the side, whether he's going to play up front or at the back or in midfield, you know. And they're the sort of characters that are invaluable asset for a club and for the dressing room.
Big Mark's gear came in for a bit of ribbon a few times, but you couldn't argue. It was all Versace and Dolce & Gabbana and everything. So, but it was a bit bright, but that was just the way he went about, and he loved all that. I think Mark played on it, but fair dues to him. But you got, yeah, you had to get in about the players and all that. And everybody thinks I'm getting so blame. I've been in about the players, but McCoist was there. He was always in there and thereabouts. Don't worry about that. Aye, Coyce now, the wee cheeky grin and all. If there was any trouble I've getting about, he was always the man that was doing it, and I was getting to blame it. Can't see it on video what he was up to.
On the field, things were deadly serious. Walter Smith had made major changes to the playing staff, but never doubted that Ian Durrant was still one of his best assets. The fourth championship in a row was won against St Mirren, and Ian, of course, was in the midst of the action.
Well, this is icing on the cake after 3 years. I've been out for 3 years, this is icing on the cake.
Rangers had won the title in considerable style, beating Hearts into second place by 9 points. However, the following season would be remembered as one of the greatest in the club's long history, and for Ian Durrant, one of the most memorable.
I think it's one of the best ever, if I'm being perfectly honest. Now, I know there's been a few right good Rangers teams, but that year what we've done now, our unbeaten run in the league, our run in Europe unbeaten, and obviously when we finished off with a treble, it clicked into place right away.
Ferguson to McCall, this is Durrant. Well, the pace of the match has dropped just a little, and we're seeing a lot more passes being put together by both sides. Can Hauster get there in time? He did extremely well. The chance is on. The equaliser from Ian Durrant. 69 minutes of the match gone. And Ian Durrant brings the Rangers supporters to life. It was a brilliantly set up goal. The pace of Hauster was vital here. Pulling this back. The layoff came from Haitley. The deadly finish from Durrant. And this time, Marshall didn't have an answer.
No doubt he'll remind you time and time again he managed to score one goal against us. He was very creative, obviously, on the park. So he was difficult to play against. You have to be aware of everything that was going on in front of you, because he could carve the whole thing open in one pass. And it would set guys up who were playing up front alongside him. And I've seen it playing against him and playing with him. So very creative.
That season, Rangers were invincible. Unbeaten for 7 months, they were a side who simply refused to settle for an easy draw.
Now the fans getting more behind them. John Brown still well forward. Chess it down to Durrant. Mikhailichenko. Durrant. Oh, wonderful goal by Ian Durrant.
The backbone of the team was there for most of the season. And the desire, the golf driving you on. Now we went down, but the heads now went down, and we reached the 1 games. Just our overall now attitude and desire to win was frightening.
That desire was strong during Rangers' European run. Against some of the finest teams in Europe, they emerged unbeaten, and Ian proved invaluable, scoring more goals in the Champions League than any other Rangers player.
He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The better the opposition, the better he played. Probably played his best football in the Champions League. But that was maybe his best season as a player coming back from injury, that proved to everybody that he was back to a top-class level of football.
Trevor Steven with a good ball to Durant. Yes! 6 minutes before half-time, Rangers get the breakthrough. Ian Durant.
Well, this is their best move of the game. What a great spotter's badge there from Trevor Steven. Good first touch and a brilliant finish.
20 minutes to go. It's 1-1. Durant. Steven. Well done, Trevor Steven. What a shame he hit that straight into the back of McCall. But Nisbet whips it in. Oh my word! It's a goal by Nisbet. It's the break and the stroke of luck that Rangers needed. It might be the biggest fluke in Europe this season, but who cares? Rangers are back in front.
I scored a cracker that night. Probably the only bit of football we played that night. Big Nizzy gets all the plaudits for a fluke. Typical, innit?
But there was nothing accidental about Ian's goal in Marseille after trailing 1-0. Again, Rangers' huge desire to win was a key factor.
A goal for Marseille. Franck Sauzet.
As they look for this equalising goal, Stevens' corner floated in. It's a terrific goal by Durant. 1-1. A terrific goal for Rangers. 52 minutes gone. Ian Durant has made it 1-1.
The European dream ended when Marseille beat Bruges in their next match to secure a place in the final. But in the Championship, Rangers would go all the way again. Only 3 days after defeating Leeds in the Champions League qualifier, they met Celtic at Celtic Park.
And they got him taking every advantage, finds Hitley. In comes Dale Gordon. Ali McCoy's there. Here's Ian Durant. Ian Durant scores for Rangers.
The Celtic, I never scored in Celtic before, so that was a good day as well. And McCoy to tap me in the bum going like that, but that wee passer. He always remembered his good passes, but he never remembered his bad ones. And 90% of them were bad. No Old Firm game's the same. It's 100 mile an hour. The atmosphere is just like fever pitch. The players are going an extra yard. Everybody's going an extra yard. That you can see the tension on the sidelines with the two managers. And it's a game you can't really describe. It's the greatest game in the world when you're winning. I can write them off every time you beat them.
There goes the final whistle.
The first silverware of a glorious treble came when once again Ian met Aberdeen in a League Cup final.
Nice little dummy by Durant. Ferguson getting the ball at his right foot. Oh, it smacks off the post. So that's a good clearance by Stephen Wright. McCall plays it to McCoy, to Durant. Some lovely close play here by Rangers. Oh, it's McCall. Stuart McCall. What a blunder in the Aberdeen defence. McCoist again. This is Durant. McCoist racing through. It's Ian Durant. Oh, what a marvellous effort. And well saved by Theo Snelders. And there goes the final whistle.
The gutsy performances of that season depended not only on the skills of the goal scorers, but on the midfield and the defence, especially Richard Gough.
He got his point of view across and always made sure now we stick together as a team. We leave here as a team, we'll come back in here as a team. Just simple things that just stick in your mind, and just look at the guy beside you, because that's your partner, and if your partner's in trouble, you make sure you're there. Just simple things, but effective now. Setting things in your head where you're going to do things as a team. And from there now, what we're always had as a team. Big Gough just used to set as a light, and Big Gough was trying to tackle people now in the tunnel just to get his point of view across, and that, so you get the first tackling. Bomber's just a maniac in the pitch now, but great players now, but just if ever you wanted to put a player in the trenches with you now, he was the man. And you had David Robertson now. The amount of games David Robertson played for Rangers and his time there was phenomenal. He kicked a granny for him just to win a game. And then you had the two maniacs in the middle, Fergie and McCall. Now, a couple of Bull Terriers, weren't they? They were just built in again. But when I say that, make now about his kickers, but they could play a bit as well. But when it came physical, we beat the players to handle it.
As well as determination, it was Rangers' impressive skill which won them not only the Championship, but the Scottish Cup as well.
Hateley's header! Oh, that's magnificent! That's a great header by Hateley!
The Championship was won at Airdrie, and Ian knew exactly what that historic season meant for him.
So what does 5 in a row mean?
Well, we've equalled the record today. I think it was 1928.
Ian had reached a pinnacle in his career, but although a star at Rangers, he always kept his feet firmly on the ground.
This is where it all began. Just over there where the new house had been built, that's where I was born. A stone's throw away from Ibrox. So as you see here, this is where it all started. This is where I bedded in, home to be a professional footballer. I've got friends over there. My mum just over these bushes. Mum just stays over there. Her house is just there. So I come down and we usually meet up on a Sunday. We go for a pint on a Sunday and meet up with boys. I've always now been a homeboy and I always come down back to my roots. When we were young, we used to climb up there. But that's when we were young and daft, but you know what I mean? It's just, they used to have an old Clyde tunnel there. Used to go through the Clyde tunnel and then up the crane. Madness, but as I say now, I wouldn't get near it. Be terrified, I'm scared of heights now. So I wish I was back here again. 12-year-old playing me. First thing I played down here was Park United. Then I went on to the Malvern Star, and then from there on to Glasgow United. And from there on to Rangers. And the rest is history, as I said. This is called Plantation, and now when people say where you come from, that's the first thing I say. I come from the Plan. Now, same people have been living here for years, and there are good people down here. And I always know, as I said, when I get a chance to come back, I always try to come back. Here's our Maddy's coming. All right, wee man.
Is that your life story?
That's it. Get it in video next week. Where will you park anyway?
Swimming?
Yeah.
With a naked woman.
Cheers.
For much of season 93-94, Rangers had to do without Ali McCoist, who had broken his leg on international duty. Ian's versatility allowed him to take up the striker's role, and in the League Cup, he was invaluable.
Hateley again, holding it up for Durrant. And a very good ball that by Ian Durrant. Race here, Durrant with Galloway. Bit of wrestling there by Durrant, was that? Hateley scores for Rangers! Made by Durrant, finished by Hateley, and Rangers snatched the lead.
In the final, Ian was even better.
Ferguson to Durrant. Hateley return pass, there's Durrant. The opening goal for Rangers. Brilliantly finished by Ian Durrant. 10 minutes of the second half gone. And this was superb play from Rangers. And it's a goal that has to be said, which has been in the cards for some time.
But as usual, Ali McCoist wanted to upstage his old pal when he made his comeback, in typical Super Ali style.
A long throw, looking for Hateley's flick on. That's McCoist with the acrobatic effort!
He scored a brilliant goal. Serves him right though, nobody mentions it. He was the second best goal of the game, if that's any good to him.
It was hard for the Toys to take that day, but I got a nod in front of him. But he came on, and as I say, the rest is history, but they just bobbed it away. It was a mighty thud that hit Parkhead when that backside hit the ground, wasn't it?
Ian Durrant holds a remarkable record at Ibrox. He has played in 7 finals and won them all. But he also has some unusual memorabilia in his trophy cabinet.
Over the years I've collected whisky, but many years ago we played Auxerre in the European Cup, and just a bit of thanks he gave all the boys in the team. 2 bottles of Chablis with your face and your nom de plume on it. So it was a nice touch over the years. Now, trying to crack open, see how it tasted, but I don't think I'd really appreciate drinking wine out my face in a bottle.
In 1994, Rangers won their 6th consecutive championship, but the hard years were taking their toll, and in the summer, Walter Smith again brought in new talent. The most significant was Brian Laudrup.
He's got Haitley away on the right. He decides to go it alone. Brilliant play by Laudrup! Oh, magnificent goal!
And he came the first day in training. Notice there was 1v12. Laudrup just played it. He had the team himself and he just taken it. Oh, phenomenal then.
But for Ian, there was a shock in store. He was sent on loan to Everton, and many thought that he may never return.
I was starting to get in the team then. There wasn't any light at the end of the tunnel. See me getting in the team, and I went down and I goes, I'll get a fresh break and see how I like it now. The Premiership was just starting to buzz in. I went down and enjoyed myself.
Staying at the top level, if you stay at a club for a long time, I would think nearly impossible. Everton probably won't like me saying it, but it freshened up his desire to play for Rangers again.
Ian returned to his old home in November and was given a great reception from the Ibrox fans. He had a point to prove, and in the next game did exactly that.
And that's played through now for Ian Durrant. Oh, magnificent! A great pass by Laudrup, and Ian Durrant, after 56 minutes, makes it Dundee United 0, Rangers 3. Another delightful pass from Laudrup. Durrant running through.
A great finish by Ian Durrant. Again, you can't believe he's back at Rangers. That's where he wants to be, and he's scoring goals for him is even better.
Shot with that one. Charlie Miller comes in, does well against Stephen Wright. He's got Laudrup running through the middle. Aberdeen chasing back here. Still it's Miller. Through for Laudrup. Great play by Laudrup. It's Miller. In comes Durrant. And Rangers take the lead.
And there was talk then of maybe not getting a new contract, but I think we went over the gaffer that day.
And it was only fitting that after such a difficult season, Ian should score in the match where Rangers emerged as champions for the 7th time in a row.
Just under 4 minutes left. 1 goal apiece. This is Durrant. Great play by Ian Durrant. A marvellous goal by Ian Durrant. Ran onto the return pass, picked his spot beyond Jim Leighton.
For Ian, the celebrations were even sweeter after almost being sold. He had stormed back to regain his first-team place. Now he could concentrate on the goal which everyone at Ibrox wanted. 9 titles in a row.
At that time we were going for the 9 in a row, and it set in. It would have been great, a bit of glory winning the cups and that, but the beginning and end all was to win the leagues, because that time we got a chance to win 9 in a row, maybe more.
That's good play by Salenko. Okoye is Gascoigne racing through the middle. It's great play for Rangers, and Gascoigne has scored!
For 3 years, sensational. Funny, but sensational football as well. Every day something happened. And he used to come in with his size 12, now shoes on now, Adidas shoes and all that. He's come in with his waders on, with his fish and all that. Energy, bundles of energy, and just couldn't sleep. Now he'd go away and come over and stay at night now and again. And he'd be up at 5 in the morning, I'm away fishing, I'll see you out of the ground.
To be fair, we knew what Gascoigne was capable of, so we felt we had to combine our efforts here against him. And I think the first couple of weeks we came out on top, and then Gascoigne came up and said, right, OK lads, he said, I've got the drift. Are we a 3-ball now? And that was it, we were a 3-ball off the park after that. You know, we used to go to the Christmas parties, and it was... Is that enough for you? It was an adventure, man. The Christmas party used to last 3 days. And the thing was, we used to get fined every year. Not by the club, but by the shop hire, because there was never a fancy dress outfit in the back with a kebab stain in it or something like that, you know, or blood or somebody's, I don't know, we're not getting it. But there was always stains everywhere that would never come out.
How do you get your ears on in the morning?
The quest for 9 in a row was relentless. Arguably the most important match in the club's history took place in April 1997. Rangers were on track to win their long-awaited prize, but Celtic were trying everything in their power to stop them.
He'd one more hurdle to go. If he'd have failed at that hurdle, nobody would remember the 8 before that. It wasn't the prettiest of football we played through the season, but we ground it out in the end up and all came down to the crunch at Parkhead.
Again, Durrant was keeping a close eye on him. Good challenge. He's getting through a power of luck. Ian Durrant coming through, the goalkeeper's off his line. Rangers sensationally take the lead. It was Alberts who swept the ball through. It was Haitley with Anori. He got the merest touch on it. And then Stubbs headed it into the path of Durrant. The goalkeeper had already left his line. Malky Mackay had the chance to clear.
And then had a hand in the goal, which Laudrup said he touched, but I swear on my heart, he never touched that. It was my goal.
Although technically the 9th championship was not won for another 5 games, to many Rangers supporters it was that result which clinched the 9 in a row.
And they're celebrating the fact they've surely won the championship at Parkhead.
But there comes a time in every player's career when they have to move on. In his final season at Rangers, Ian was given a testimonial match against Sheffield Wednesday.
It's when the testimonial comes, you know you're coming to the end of your days and that, so it's sad that way, but I had a great night that night against Sheffield Wednesday. Apart from DiCanio and Carboni taking the mick out everybody for 10 minutes, I was like, we're going to get battled 5-0 here. So I had to bring on Bomber out and a couple of cloggers. Then we sneaked a 2-each draw. Oh, brilliant.
Ian's Rangers career was now over, but he will always be remembered with huge affection by the club's supporters. All the way from his early days as the lightning attacker who cut open defences to the seasoned player who is now in the prestigious Rangers Hall of Fame. So it was an emotional moment when the man who signed him, John Greig, presented Ian with his testimonial award and sent him on his way to say farewell to the Rangers supporters. Some commentators had hinted that Ian had stayed too long at Ibrox, but the significance of those 9 titles in a row was extremely important to him.
Maybe in hindsight I did, yeah, but from where I brought up that and what the 9 in a row meant, I was determined to stick it out. But I had a desire to stay for 9 in a row and I got it.
For many players, that would be the end of the story. But Ian still had a great deal to offer, as Kilmarnock would discover.
I was trying to sign him as soon as I got the hot seat at Kilmarnock. I was desperate to get a player of his calibre into Rugby Park.
He got his way. It must have been about 4 months. He kept phoning me every day, twice, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Getting his wife to phone me, no, don't move down south, you're not enjoying it, don't go here, don't go there. And then I went down to Kilmarnock and I swear, no, I've had 4 great years there playing wise.
Everybody said it would be a gamble bringing him to Rugby Park because I hadn't played so much football over the last few years. He never missed a game for us that season, and it's down to him, being the man he is. He pushed himself through the pain barrier for each and every training session, never mind every match, and it's incredible.
When he first came to the club, he was absolutely outstanding. I mean, he was by far the best midfielder in the country, and just a big influence in the club in general.
On the park, he quickly made a big impression, but Alan Mahood still remembers Ian's first day at Kilmarnock.
Well, it was actually my first day as well, because I had just signed at the same time. I just sat in the corner, never said a word, and let him get on with it. But it's as if he'd been here all his life.
It's unbelievable, because when you walk in the door, the first thing people do is welcome you. But with Ian, he just caned you, and for a whole season I got caned. I used to come in the morning and just wish, you know, that he'd be off with the flu or something, just to give me a break for a couple of days. But that's just the character of the guy. He's always there to help you. He's always the first one to congratulate you or to be on your back, even when he was injured. But to have the guy in your team, and he's a character of the dressing room.
To liven up the dressing room even further, old teammate Ali McCoist also joined the ranks at Rugby Park.
Durrant. Well, this is the kind of football that Bobby Williamson has been encouraging, putting the emphasis on patience and possession. Ali McCoy's going in there, and he's done it again!
the gaffer said to us, he goes, what about Coist? I goes, how are you go, give us a break, eh? I'm enjoying myself now. He goes, I'm looking for an experience for. I goes, all right, I goes, give me my phone. And 2 minutes later, that big daft face comes in with that big daft smile. I goes, oh, here we go.
Picked up by Durrant, a position he relishes. McCoy's giving support on the left-hand side. Here's McCoist again, and it's there! The man's hat-trick! What a glorious comeback to Scottish football. And he made it look ridiculously easy. The two ex-Rangers together in new colours, but with the old familiar style. Watch the timing of the pass. That was crucial to this. Just glided there, Weir caught in no man's land.
If Durrant had the ball and you made a run, he would see it. And if he thought you were a good option and the best option, he'd give you it. Never a run made that he never saw. Saw everything. Great vision.
I've seen it when I played against him. How McCoy would make runs and you think, where's he off to? You know, and this is all going through your head while you're playing in the game. You know, where's he off to? You know, the ball's not even crossed the halfway line. And then all of a sudden there would be a couple of passes and the ball would be at McCoy's feet and all of a sudden he's 1-on-1 on you. And it was just the partnership they had. And it was the same in training. When the two of them were here in training, there was still little passes, little flicks, that he knew what his favourite running was. And he could see it early and play it.
Durrant, it's through to McCoist, and it's 1-0 to Kilmarnock.
The goal against Motherwell was phenomenal. Durrant knew what I was going to do, because I was never going to run away from MD. But then you only need half a yard, that's all you need. And I never even looked, I knew the ball would be coming at the same time. The ball was coming, I just had to take a touch and hit it. You know, he'd done his job, my job was to finish it off.
In the dressing room was magic, because the two of them would just come in and liven the whole thing up. You could be sitting and feeling, oh, no, another day of training, might be a miserable day outside. And the two of them, if they started a wee bit of banter, then it would liven the whole thing up, and all of a sudden every day felt a summer's day when they were on form. You know, Durrant would bring up his goal against Celtic and his goal against Marseille in the European thing. And then Coist would walk away and say, oh, I've got too many goals to talk about. And it was a double act, on and off the park.
Ian will always be considered a Rangers supporter. And there was controversy when Ian and Ally McCoist were shown on camera supporting their old club.
The Kilmarnock supporters weren't very happy about it. But what the Kilmarnock supporters didn't realise was there was guys playing with Kilmarnock who supported Celtic on the other end. But because it's Durrant and McCoist, they got a bit of stick. But there was no question the loyalty to Kilmarnock at the time when they pulled on the blue and white stripes. They gave everything they've got.
We went into the Kilmarnock dressing room on the Monday. When there was a big sign up on the notice board, and it was Celtic 6, Rangers 3, right? And what it was, there was 6 of the Kilmarnock boys up the Celtic end, and there was 3 up the Rangers end. That was fantastic. That's humour, and that's what you need in dressing rooms. And you can kid yourself on, but the bottom line is, there'll be players from all over Scotland at that game, wanting one of the two teams to win.
No, never on any occasion did I ever go there and feel he was a Rangers man. You know, when I went to Ibrox, he was a Kilmarnock man. He wanted to do his best for Bobby and the boys. Even at that time, there was nobody in the Rangers team that could match Ian Durrant for his vision. And we were, as I said, we were very fortunate to have him in our team.
We beat Rangers 3-0. The team Bobby had out on the day, if we played to capabilities, we knew we could beat anybody. So I wasn't welcomed in Kinnan Park that night.
And of course, Kilmarnock games against Celtic were always special.
Yeah, we beat them 2-0 at Rugby Park. For some reason, the Celtic have always found it hard coming down to Killie. And just one of those days where everything clicked into place. Mark Roberts and Ali Mitchell scored, and what a result it was. You set your plan out the season, you're 8 games against Old Firm, you go, well, if you get a few draws now you're doing well. because he was getting points right away off Old Firm, started season it right away.
Ian's level of performance was so high that he received 9 more caps for Scotland whilst at Kilmarnock, and one of his shirts is proudly displayed at the club. The call-up surprised even Ian.
Never in a million years. Honestly, I just went down there to play football and just enjoy myself. Never, everything clicked into place, and they do things really nice with Killie now. They appreciate what you do for the club now. They're a bit, but they keep the memorabilia. They've got my jersey, my cap and that, so I've passed on a few things to them. Don't worry, if you part me, I'll be getting them back, don't worry.
Ian had a remarkable record at Kilmarnock. When many people thought his career was fading, he again proved them wrong. At Rugby Park, he was an outstanding player who led the club with honour and pride. And he could score goals too. Ian Durrant's playing career finally came to an end in 2002. His last major appearance was in the CIS Cup final against Celtic at Hampden, where he displayed once again his value as an experienced leader.
He's the best player in the park by a mile. They didn't know what to do. Everything was going through him, and they couldn't get near him. And for us to have a chance to win the cup that day, Durrant had to play.
Ian was tremendous for us. He's one of those guys that's been there and done it, and the players respond to that. They look to these guys for guidance. It was, in hindsight, might have been a wrong decision because of Ian's injury. Ian was struggling with a cruciate problem, and we played him in the final against Celtic, and obviously he broke down 30 minutes into the game, but I felt it was a gamble we had to take, because to have any chance of winning the trophy, I felt we needed Durrant on the park, and for 30 minutes he was the best player on the park.
That injury, ironically on his so-called good knee, effectively ended Ian's magnificent career. However, after the departure of Bobby Williamson to Hibs, new manager Jim Jeffries immediately appointed him as first-team coach.
There's one thing he's got, and that's the respect of the players, because he's played at that level. He's a quality player, so the younger players should listen to him all the time, because he's been there, he's done it, he's got the T-shirt, and these people are invaluable.
When you get to know him, that he's got a hell of a pride in his performances, his fitness level, and the way he wants to play, and he likes to keep that standard as high as possible. And I'm sure he'll do the same in the coaching side. Maybe a wee bit frustrating for him just now with just retiring, but the standards he has are extremely high, and he does push himself to try and reach his standards all the time.
Loved it, honestly. See, if I was organised a lot better, I could have been midget up these tiptoes. Look, it's brilliant, honestly. Little. You need to get my box. I've been in some ugly squads, but I think this takes the biscuit, I'm telling you.
He's made for it. Taylor made for it. I've got 3 boys, and if I thought I could coach Ian Durrant, wonderful. Brilliant. He's been over the course and distance. He's got the respect of the boys. He's got everything going in his favour, and I think he'll be a tremendous success.
However successful he may become in his new role, Ian Durrant will always be remembered as one of the most talented players Scotland has ever produced. In addition, he showed a remarkable strength of character to fight back from such a career-threatening injury. His great skill and tenacity, but perhaps above all, that sheer determination to carry on playing the game he loves, makes him a hero to thousands of fans, both at Kilmarnock and at his beloved Ibrox. Ian Durrant's memorable football achievements will always be an inspiration to those who follow on.
I've been killed off more times than anybody. Killed off more times than JR.